Good morning, busy dads, busy people everywhere. Welcome to the new week. It's a Monday. I've got to say, Mondays, they're one of my favourite days, maybe my favourite day of the week. Though I'm starting to get very partial to Sundays as well. And actually, before I introduce today's workout, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Sundays and Saturdays these days are also rest days for me. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience of rest days, because in the past, I've struggled enormously with rest days, and I think that that's something a lot of people will be able to relate to. A lot of people I know who are really passionate about training in the way that I am, when the rest day comes around, they find themselves feeling kind of agitated, anxious, and restless, which is not ideal on a rest day. You're constantly, at least I am, climbing the walls, thinking about training. Maybe you give yourself permission to do some stretches or some hidden quick sets of push-ups or pull-ups. You can't quite let go and allow yourself, your body and your mind to rest. And it's a relief when the next day comes around and it's time to train again. If you can relate to that, I want to talk about it, and hopefully what I say will have some resonance for you. I've often wondered why it was that I felt that way, that I couldn't just relax. And I think that the reason was I was worried that if I allowed myself to relax and to properly exit the mindset of training, I might not get training back. I might lose it. I might wake up the next morning and not be motivated anymore. Training has made such a massive positive difference in my life, and it has in so many of our lives, that we're very anxious about losing it, losing motivation, starting to skip days. And so there's this feeling that if you take yourself out of that tunnel vision and take yourself away from that mindset, you might never get back into it again. And so you keep doing things that kind of act as cues that remind you that you're still fully oriented around training. You're standing there stretching and doing push-ups and fantasizing about tomorrow's workout because you don't want to let go of your commitment to training, and you don't want that identity to loosen its hold on you. And that was me for many years. My friends, I've just had one of the best weekends of my life. I feel great. And 2 days went by, and by the end of Sunday, I could barely remember what a burpee was. I felt like I'd got so much distance, physical distance and mental distance from training. It was profoundly healing and restful. And that's what I want every one of my weekends to look like from now on. And it's what I want for you guys. If you're someone who struggles to take their mind off training when they're resting, this message is for you. Trust yourself. The reason I was able to relax this weekend, not talk about training, not think about training, not stretch, not do push-ups when no one was looking. The reason I was able to take myself away from that mindset entirely, and in so doing to let my mind and my body really heal, is because I trust that when Monday comes around and it is time for me to reinstate my practice, I will train like a savage. There's no doubt in my mind. And there's no doubt because for 2.5 years now, I've missed one session due to illness. Other than that, I've been entirely consistent. And that consistency in building my practice has created a base that I can fall back on. I know. It's written in. It's non-negotiable. I know that when the time comes, I will train hard. And so I'm not worried that if I spend the weekend not thinking about training, I'm going to lose that. If you build a practice, you don't have to rely on motivation. And when you don't have to rely on motivation anymore, You don't have to keep yourself agitated, keep yourself constantly thinking about training for fear that you might lose your motivation. You can let the motivation come, let it go. The motivation isn't what's getting you through your training, it's the practice. Okay. And that means routinely training whether you want to or not. It's non-negotiable. It's just a basic commitment that's built into your schedule and that is sacred, that is guarded, that you've made a pledge to set aside. If you pledge to set aside 80 minutes a week on the Busy Dad program, and if week in, week out, without fail, you honor that pledge, then Saturday and Sunday will come around and you can think about other things that have nothing to do with training, friends, family, work, nature, whatever it is. You can throw yourself into an identity that has nothing at all to do with training. When you come back, you'll feel replenished, you'll feel excited and invigorated and ready to go. My friends, you can probably tell, that is exactly how I feel. I feel like the luckiest man in the world that today I get to perform some weighted Navy SEAL burpees as part of the Busy Dad mass building program. We're into week 3 now, and my friends, I'm going to attack this one. What we're going to be doing, in case you're unfamiliar, is working in 40-second workspaces, one of those every minute on the minute, and we're going to be aiming for, I believe it's 3 crisply executed Navy SEAL burpees in that time. And that's going to get us a total of 60 reps over the course of the workout. We're going to want to bring the chest to the ground, and again, we're going to want lat activation in the deadlift part of the movement. Make sure that we don't rush that part of the movement, make sure that we really move through it and cultivate that mind-muscle connection. So that's what we're going to be doing in a minute. And forgive me for this longer than usual intro, I just really wanted to share that thought about the value of rest and how that value is unlocked when you can trust yourself to send your thoughts long way away from training. Just know that the practice will bring you back when the time comes. If you build your practice, that's what you can do. So, we should all become burpee practitioners, not just people who rely on motivation, and we should train like absolute savages and then not think about it very much at all. If you can find that, my friends, you can find real happiness. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, time to get to work. Let's go. Sit down. Let's go. Number 2. All right, back in, number 3.
Triceps in. Make sure you keep the lats engaged. Don't round your shoulders on the way down in count 1. Keep them back. Should not feel comfortable. It's very important that you feel like you're fighting gravity when you go down with the weights. You're going to want to just slump down. Resist that. Really feel the movement, feel the work in the lats. Back in. Tense. Five down, quarter of the way through. Let's go. Live in this. So we've got a while to go yet. 1 minute at a time. Let's go. Stay with me. 7 down. Just keep pushing. Back in. 8 sets, down. Let's keep pushing, let's get to 10. Okay. Have some water after the next set. Stay with me. This is killer. But we're doing it. No two ways about it. Let's get to 15. Then we're going to take off the top. Let's hold off until we get to 15. Stay in this. 3 left. We're all hurting. Let's make these 3 the best. In. No two ways about it. That's very hard. My advice is really, although it's worth carving out a little bit of structure, like you'll see, I had time to drink for the 10-minute mark. I have time taking off my shirt for the 15. And while I think having something to hold on to at that macro level is helpful, for getting through the reps, which are really unfamiliar and difficult, and where you never know which part of your body is more fatigued, biceps and Forearms are starting to give out. Then the chest pipes up and the shoulders in the pump. And then you get out of the deadlift and your squats start crying. It's just really hard. And because each rep is so intensive compared to any burpee, this hasn't got a weight, I found it's very demoralizing to think too far ahead. Like, for example, when I got to minute 10, the thought into my mind, hey, only 30 reps left. And then the second thought was 30 of these. Fuck that, I'm gonna give up. So I had to banish that thought immediately and just thought, okay, you can do 3 of these within that 40-second workspace. That's where you're gonna live right now. And so that's what I'd recommend, especially with this kind of training. Set a little bit of a prior structure, but then just live in each workspace. And don't promise yourself to do anything beyond the next set. And just keep coming back. And before you know it, you'll have 3 sets left. The end will be in sight, and it doesn't get any less hard. But you'll break the back of it without even knowing that that's what you're doing. All right, my friends, enough from me. I hope that my message at the beginning of this video resonated a little bit with some of you. I'll see you all again tomorrow for leg day. Looking forward to it.